So in last class, we were solving problems based on single force resultant of a system. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you read this problem number 12 for me? We will solve this problem.
Yes, sir. Machine component is subjected to forces and couples is shown. The component is to be held in place by a single rivet that can resist a force but not a couple. For P equals 0, determine the location of the rivet hole if it's to be located A on line FG and B on line GH.
Yes. So it is given in the problem statement that this P equal to 0. So as if this P is not existent. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what is being asked? What is being asked? This component is to be held in a place by a single rivet, which can resist force, but which cannot resist a couple. So we have to find out location of that rivet hole if it is to be located along line FG or along line GH. So along line FG, we have to find out a place where this force system shrinks down to only a force resultant and not a moment resultant. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will solve part A first. And to solve part B, I am going to tell you there are two methods. We will solve part B by both the methods. But part A needs to be solved using traditional method. And what is the traditional method? So I assume that along line FG, uh, first of all, I have to assume the origin. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let me assume G as a origin for our case. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So G is origin. And uh, this is x and this is y. Coming out of the plane of board towards you is z. There is nothing in z, there is nothing along z axis, so we are not interested in anything that happens in z direction. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so G has been taken as a origin, and I assume, let me borrow this figure down. I don't want to mess with this figure. Let me borrow it down here. Yes, and I assume that at distance y from G along line FG, it is that point where I should drill the rivet hole. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Uh, This is the point where I should drill the rivet hole such that resultant of all these forces and this moment together is going to be only a force. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what do I assume? I call that point as up. They have used the letters up to A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I. So let me call this point as I. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is the characteristic of point I? Moment of all the forces as well as couple moments that are acting on a body. यहाँ पे forces कौन से 200, 120, 80. Are you with me? These are the forces.
Yes, sir.
And what are the moments? Moments are 42 Newton meter and 40 Newton meter. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So moment of all the forces and moments at point I must vanish. This is our condition. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So at point I want only force resultant to prevail. So I will write down that. So I want only force resultant at I. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are straight away. And has it been asked to find out what is the resulting force? No. So resultant का magnitude and direction निकालना नहीं है. You have to simply find the location. So I have to simply use this condition. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us try to write down movements of all the forces about point I. And to do that, I will have to resolve these forces along x and y directions. So what is the x component of this 200 Newton force? Can you tell me?
The 200 cos 15.
Yes, 200 cos 15. जिसके बीच में थीटा वो component cos theta. And we are going to maintain color code. What is the y component of this 200 force?
200 sin 15, sir.
Sine 15, right? Then what is the x component of 120 Newton force? Tell me.
120 minus 120 cos 70, sir.
Yes. So minus means it is going towards the negative x direction. But when we show its direction to be towards left, then we will not incorporate minus sign once again here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is 120 cos 70. That's right. What is the vertical component of this 120 Newton force?
120 sine 70.
Yes. So 120 sine 70 going down. So ideally negative. But as we have shown the direction, we are going to show it. We are going to write it as 120 sine 70. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the vertical component of this 80 Newton force? This 80 Newton force itself.
Yes, sir.
And what is the x component of this 80 Newton force? 0. Happy? Force P is not present. Do you have to resolve this 42 Newton meter and 40 Newton meter? Answer is no.
No, sir.
Because those are already couple moments. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And if you remember, we have discussed that the couple moment can be transposed anywhere in its plane. So even if the couple moment is acting at F, its effect at I is same. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So I can even consider this 42 Newton meter acting at I. Similarly, this 40 Newton meter couple moment can be transposed anywhere in its plane. So I can consider it to be acting at I itself. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is one care that you have to take. This 42 Newton meter unit, dekho, it is in Newton meter, whereas all other dimensions are in mm. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So I need to convert this 42 Newton meter into Newton mm. So what is the conversion? Meter to mm. So I have to multiply it by 1000. So can I write it as 42,000 Newton mm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, you have to look at this 40 Newton meter force, Newton meter moment, couple moment. This 40 Newton meter couple moment needs to be converted to 40,000 converted as 40,000 Newton m. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we have to understand that these conversions are absolutely necessary to maintain everything in same system of units. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us try taking moments. 200 cos 15. Its moment about I. What kind of moment will it produce? Tell me, clockwise or anti-clockwise?
So it'll produce a clockwise movement.
Yes. So therefore, at I am going to show clockwise moment produced by this 200 cos 15. And what will be the moment? As it is a horizontal force, we are looking at vertical distance. So what is the vertical distance between I and E?
Sir, 50 millimeters.
No, that is the vertical distance between F and E.
No, sir, sorry. It'll be
520 minus Y.
20 minus y.
sir.
Yes. Do you agree? This distance. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is going to be 520 minus Y. So let me write down that 200 cos 15 multiplied by 520 minus Y. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And as it is clockwise, so I am assigning negative sign. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Mind you, the sign is not of the component. It is the sign of nature of the moment that is produced at I due to the component. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us go ahead now. Let us write down the moment of 120 cos 70. 200 sine 15. 200 sine 15. What kind of moment does it produce about I?
So will it be anti-clockwise?
Yes.
Anti-clockwise.
Present on the left hand side. You can imagine the body is held at I. It is going to produce anti-clockwise moment. So I will show it anti-clockwise. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And which distance are we interested in? As it is a vertical force, we are interested in horizontal distance between E and I. What is the horizontal distance between E and I?
50 mm.
50
50
mm.
So therefore, what we are going to write is plus 200 sine 50. Happy? Sine 50 multiplied by 50. Chalo. Now let us take the moment of this 120 sine 70 about I. 120 sine 70, what kind of moment does it cause about I? You have to forget all other forces. You have to hold the body at I and imagine what kind of rotation would 120 sine 70 produce.
Clockwise, sir.
Clockwise. right? So therefore I have shown it to be clockwise, and therefore it is going to be negative. Which distance am I interested in? I'm interested in horizontal distance between I and D, because 120 sine 70 is vertical. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is the horizontal distance between D and I? Is it?
190.
Yes, 240 minus 50. So 190. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what should I write? Plus 120 sine 70. 120 sine 70. Sorry. Multiplied by 190. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us look at this 120 cos 70 component. What kind of moment does it produce about I?
So anti-clockwise, sir.
Anti-clockwise. So I have shown it to be anti-clockwise, and I am going to assign positive sign to it. What is the moment? 120 cos 70 into vertical distance between D and I. What is vertical distance between D and I? 520 minus 1.
Sorry.
Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So into 120 cos 70 multiplied by 520 minus y. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us look at this 80 Newton force. What kind of movement does it produce about G?
So clockwise, sir.
About I. I'm sorry. About I.
Um, it should be
Clockwise.
clockwise, sir.
Clockwise. That's right. So that clockwise movement will be 80 multiplied by horizontal distance between point C and I. What is the horizontal distance between point C and I? 640
590.
minus 50.
590, sir. 640 minus
Yes,
50.
that is correct. That is 590. So minus, I am very happy with the involvement of the class. So 80 multiplied by 590. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, P is not present. P is given as 0 in the problem. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And this 42 Newton meter and 40 Newton meter, these moments can be transferred as it is at I. So I need to add them. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Whether these moments are anti-clockwise or clockwise?
So anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. So both the moments are going to be positive. So I will write plus 42,000. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Plus 40,000. Moments can be transposed anywhere in its plane. That's what we know. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Just give me a second. We have ventured into the space allotted for previous problem. Anyway. Just give me a second. Fine. Chalo. So this is the moment at I. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And what should it be? It should be 0. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So if this has to be 0, can you solve for y? Yes, easily we can solve for y. How to do that? I forgot to upload that video of solving the equations. I will do it today. If anyone knows, please do it now, or I am doing it. Just wait for the calculation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us write. You have to write down that equation as it is on calculator, and you have to use shift solve. So even if you listen to my commentary, you will be able to do that on your calculator. If calculator is in front of you, just do what I say. So minus, I am writing on the calculator, minus 200 cos 15 multiplied by, in bracket, 520 minus alpha y. So you have alpha sign on calculator and you have y written somewhere. So alpha y. So that y is written in the equations. Plus 200 sine 15 multiplied by 50 plus 200 sine 70 multiplied by 190 plus 120 cos 70 multiplied by, in bracket, 520 minus alpha y. So I write that equation as it is, minus 80 into 590 plus 42,000 plus 40,000 alpha equal to 0. So equation is written. Now shift solve. So that value turns out to be 39.55 mm. So later on you guys can cross verify whether the value is correct, but that y turns out to be 39.55 mm. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So where should it be located? From G? From G, it should be located upwards because I has turned out to be positive. So therefore, the location of point I is above G. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of positive sign? As it has turned out to be positive, G is the origin. Y, upward Y is positive. So therefore, I is located above G. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will cross verify this answer once again and then we will go ahead. Minus 200 cos 15 into 520 minus y plus 200 sin 15 into 50 plus 200 sin 70 into 190 plus 120 cos 70 into 520 minus y minus 80 into 590 plus 42,000 plus 40,000. I hope I have not made any mistake. We will come to know when we solve the second part by second method. So now let us solve the second part by first method. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So part B is what now we are going to solve, and we are going to solve it by method 1, which is exactly same as method explained in part A. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what are we going to do now? Now instead of assuming the rivet location along line GF, we are going to assume the rivet location along line GH. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us do that. So let us read the part 2. What is part B? Determine the location of rivet hole if it is to be located along line GH. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So that is the part that we are handling now. So I assume that uh, that rivet hole should be somewhere here on line GH. This distance from G, I am going to call it as X. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And I am going to call this point as GHIJ. I am going to call this point as J. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what are we going to do? At J, if I drill a rivet hole, I claim that the rivet is not subjected to any moment. It is subjected to only force resultant. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So summation of moments of all the forces and moments at J must vanish is my requirement. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we are now going to write down moment of all the forces about J. And now we are going to follow a shorthand. I will not use any color code, nothing. We will do that in our minds and we will write down the moments. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. So 200 cos 15. What kind of moment does it cause about J?
Clockwise, sir.
Clockwise. So what sign should I assign? Minus 200 cos 15. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And what is the distance I am interested in? Vertical distance, because it is horizontal component. What is vertical distance between J and E?
X plus 50.
X plus 50, sir.
Vertical distance. Vertical distance between J and E. What is the vertical distance?
Uh,
520 minus 50.
520 minus 100.
520 minus 50.
520 minus 50.
Yes. So 520 minus 50 कितना हुआ बोलो?
Sir, 470.
It's 470.
Yes. So multiply by 470. Fine. Are you
Yes,
with me? Chalo. Now let us take the vertical force, vertical component. 200 sine 15. What kind of movement does it cause about J?
Sir, anti-clockwise, sir.
Anti-clockwise. So I am going to write it as positive. So plus 200 sine 15. And which distance am I interested in? I am interested in horizontal distance because it is vertical component. Horizontal distance between E and J. Tell me how much it is.
Sir, x plus
X plus 50.
x plus 50, sir.
Right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this multiplied by X plus 50. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us look at 120. 120 cos 70. Horizontal component. What kind of movement does it cause about J?
Sir, is it anti-clockwise?
Yes. So we are going to write down the sign as plus. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So 120 cos of 70. And which distance am I interested in? As it is a horizontal component, I am interested in vertical distance between D and J. What is vertical distance between D and J? 520 minus 50. That is 470.
70.
You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So into 470. Chalo, next. हाँ बोलो.
Sir, 120 sin 70, sir.
Yes,
No,
120 sin 70. What kind of movement does it cause about J?
sir, anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise, yes, sir.
Yes. So if it is anti-clockwise moment, I will write it as positive 120 sin 70. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So when you say anti-clockwise, what assumption have we made that this point J lies in front of D? Are you with me?
Sir.
If it is not so, it will turn out at the end. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Sign is automatically adjusting. The moment x falls below this point, then that moment will automatically become negative. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So 120 sin 70 multiplied by what distance should I write?
Sir, x plus 50, sir.
No,
No,
no.
sir,
Now we
it
have
should
to
be
find out.
so it should be 240 240, sir. No, x
No,
minus 240.
no, it is x plus 50 minus 240.
Yes, sir. X plus 50 minus 240.
Are you with me? So I
Yes,
will
sir. Yes,
write x plus 50 minus 240. Happy?
yes, sir.
Okay, that is written. Now, I hope everybody has understood how it is x plus 50. Dekho, x plus 50 is the distance between A and J. Are you with me? But I
Yes.
want horizontal distance between D and J. So what is the horizontal distance between A and D? It is 240. So x plus 50 minus 240 will be the horizontal distance between D and J. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now 80 Newton force. What kind of moment does it cause about J?
Anti-clockwise, sir.
No,
Clockwise, sir.
Clockwise.
Sorry.
clockwise. So minus 80 multiplied by horizontal distance between J and C. What is horizontal distance between J and C? Is
It's
it
a 640
640?
minus x plus 50.
Yes. So it is 640 minus x minus 50. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
You can write it as 640 minus into bracket x plus 50. That I have simplified. It is 640 minus x minus 50. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, what should have happened to this moment? No, we are not yet considered 42,000 and 40,000. So I will have to add 42,000 because they are anti-clockwise in nature. So both are additive, 42,000 plus 40,000. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is to be equated to
0.
0, sir.
So let us solve that on calculator. जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ आप वैसे अगर कर पाओ तो आप समझ जाएंगे. So minus 200 cos 15 into 470 plus 200 sin 15 into the bracket alpha x plus 50 bracket complete plus 120 cos of 70 into 470 plus 120 sin 70 into bracket क्या लिखूं अल्फा x plus 50 minus 240. That's bracket complete. Minus 80 into bracket 640 minus alpha x minus 50 plus 42,000 plus 40,000. Alpha equal to 0. Shift solve. I got x as 227.14 mm. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And as it is positive, उसका मतलब क्या है? Therefore, x must lie on right hand side of G, because we have assumed x towards right as positive. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So G अगर यहाँ है तो J is going to lie on right hand side of G. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are going to solve part 2 by another method. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And I will call that as method 2. Part B, method 2. In this method, we are going to use the answer to the part A. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So how are we going to use? So I am going to just demonstrate that. So here we will also come to know if we have made any calculation error in part A or part B. That also will be possible here because we are solving it all together by a separate method. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what does part 1 say? Part 1 says that at distance 39.55 mm from G, ये distance कितना है? 39.55. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
From G, if I were to find out resultant of all this system, it is going to be a single force resultant. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir. Agreed.
So now, what is that single force resultant? Let me find out that. So how do I find out X component of that resultant? Rx
So
is
sigma
equal
f of x is equal to 0.
no, not equal to 0. It is summation
Equal to some
fx.
value, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us quickly do that. So what is Rx? It is 200 cos of 15. Happy?
Yes, sir.
It is positive because it is towards right. Minus 120 cos of 70. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other horizontal force? No.
No, sir.
42 Newton meter and 40 Newton meter are couple moments. So those are not forces. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me how much is Rx? Do this calculation and let me know the value of Rx. So let us do it.
152.14.
Pardon?
152.14.
Okay. 152.14. Yes, I also got that. So 152.14. And what will be the unit? Unit will be Newton.
Newton, sir.
And as it is positive, so what is its meaning? It is in positive x direction and therefore it is towards right. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how do we find out Ry? To get
Sigma
Ry,
is
we do
sigma of
summation Fy. So how do we do summation Fy? 200
cos
sine,
sine 15, sir.
but negative. Do you agree?
Negative sine 15. Yes, sir.
Minus 200 sine 15. Then what about 120? 120 sine 70 negative. Minus 120 sine 70. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And what about this 80 Newton force? It is
Minus
also,
8, sir.
yes, it is also in negative y direction. So minus 80. Is there anything else? No.
No, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me this value? How much is
So
Ry?
minus 244.52.
Minus
244.52.
44.52
52 Newton.
yes 52 and therefore it is acting in downward direction. कोई तो इंडिपेंडेंट कंफर्मेशन दे दो कि ये कैलकुलेशन करेक्ट है -120 sin 50 yes correct so I will not do it fine. So now Rx is 152.14 towards right. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
152.14 Newton towards right. Ry is 244.52 Newton down. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So where will be the resultant? Resultant will be in this quadrant. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
This is R. Can you tell me with the value of R? This is R bar. Magnitude of R bar is R. It will be square root of Rx square plus Ry square. So 152.14 square plus 244.52 square. Do you agree with me?
Sir, come to 289.98 Newton, sir, resultant. 287.98 Newton.
287.98. किसी और ने किया है तो कंफर्मेशन दे दो कि दैट्स करेक्ट.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and now this value we have to find out angle made by the resultant with reference to x-axis. That theta is tan inverse of Ry upon Rx but without sign. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is 244.52 divided by 152.14. Can you tell me how much it is?
58.11.
Pardon?
58.11, sir.
58.11 degree. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me draw that resultant here at I. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
तो कैसे ड्रॉ करना पड़ेगा? This angle is
11, sir.
58.11. So resultant अगर मुझे दिखाना है तो इसके साथ मुझे एंगल करना पड़ेगा 58.11 degree. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And resultant will lie along this line, something like this. This is the resultant. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is R bar. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now, line of action of this resultant. Let me find out by geometry. Where does it intersect line GH? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So I will call this distance as x star because x we have already used. So I am using the notation x star. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
कौन सा distance x star है? From G till the point where the line of action of resultant at I intersects. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now, do you know this vertical distance? Yes, it is 39.55. Happy?
Yes, sir. Very happy.
You know this 58.11 degree angle? Yes. So therefore, what will be this angle? This angle also will be 58.11 degree. Do you agree with me?
I didn't understand how, sir.
It is alternate
Alternate
angles.
degree angles.
It is alternate angles. So alternate angles are equal. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So therefore, now, can you tell me in this geometry, what is tan of 58.11 degree? Look at this right angle triangle. Opposite side, that is 39.55 divided by adjacent side, that is x star. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, can you tell me how much is x star? 39.55 divided by tan of 58.11. 39.55 divided by tan of
24.6.
58.11. 24.6.
611.
6.
So we have made some error. Let us check that now. So it is 24.60 mm. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have made some error in part 1. So first let us recognize that error and then we will come back to this method 2. Okay. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us quickly look at what we have done.
So I think there's a calculation error in calculating the value of y, sir. Because,
So what have you calculated the value of y?
sir, I did, sir, but I forgot to write it down, sir. But it was coming 133 point something, sir. I can recalculate it.
So let me calculate. I think we have not made any error in writing the equation. Error
No, sir.
must be in calculation of y. So let
Yes,
us
sir.
do it. Just give me a second. I will redo it. Minus 200 cos 15 multiplied by 520 minus alpha y bracket complete plus 200 sine 15 into 50. I think I got the error. I forgot to complete this bracket that time. Let us see. 50 plus 120 into sine of 70 multiplied by 190 plus 120 cos of 70 multiplied by 190 plus 120 cos of, acha, 1 minute.
Sir, I'm getting the value of y as 133.432.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
How did you solve?
So I solved by individual substitution, sir, adding all the non-variable terms and then adding the variable terms.
Traditional method. Okay, fine. Alpha y. Let me cross verify, then we will write it. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So minus 80 into 590 plus 42,000 plus 40,000 alpha equal to 0, shift solve. 120 sine 70 should be negative. Somebody is saying 120 sine 70. Yeah, it causes a clockwise movement, right? So it should be negative. You are right. जरा देखो 120 sin 70, this force is going to cause clockwise movement about I have shown it by green arrow, but I have not given that as negative sign, so you were right. So this should be negative. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let me correct that. Minus, अगर और कोई मिस्टेक है तो बताओ. Minus 200 cos 15 520 minus y, that's correct. 200 sine 15 into 50 minus 120 sine 70 into 190, that is correct, plus 1 plus no, minus 120 into sine 70 into 190 plus 120 into cos of 70, cos of 70 into 190 plus cos of 70. Okay, let me redo it. Just give me a second. Sorry for the delay, but we will do it neatly. Minus 120 cos of 15 into 520 minus alpha y. That's correct. Plus 200 sine 15 into 50 minus 120 sine of 70 into 190 plus 120 cos of 70 into the bracket 520 minus y bracket complete minus 80 into 590 plus 42,000 plus 40,000 alpha equal to 0. So how much, what is the value that you are getting?
So recalculating y is coming as 415.07.
Yes, so it turns out to be, I also got the same value. So
Yes,
let
sir.
me put it here. 41.07.
5.07, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this value is 415.07 instead of 39.55. Are you with me?
Yes, sir, with you.
415.07. I hope we have not made any mistake here. So this, if I replace this 39.55 by 415.077, what is the value of X star? Tell me.
Sir, 258.25.
258.25. 258.25. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now just give me a second. Now we have made some mistake here also. What I want, I will tell you. This value has to be exactly equal to this value, 227.14. इसके जितना. So either we have made some error here in calculation of R or R and theta, or we have made some error here. So it is easy to check calculation mistake in here first. So let us do these calculations quickly. Are you with me?
Yes, sir, with you.
So this is 200 cos of 15 minus 120 cos of 70.
So it's correct, sir.
So it's
This is
correct.
correct. RY, just check RY, minus 200 sin 15 minus 120 sin 70 minus 80.
Correct, sir. 244.52 minus 244.52.
Yes, sir, got it.
Now square root of 152.14 square plus 244.52 square, that is 287.98. That is correct. And shift tan inverse of 244.52 divided by 152.14, that is also correct, 58.11 degree. So let us once again do the calculation for X star. X star is 415.077 divided by tan of 58.11, that is 258, correct. Now let us look at these terms. So have we made any mistake here? 200 cos 15 multiplied by 470, 520 minus 50, that is correct. Then 200 sin 50, 15 multiplied by x plus 50, that is also correct. Plus 120 cos 70 multiplied cos 70, so multiplied by 470, that is correct. Senses are correct or not? Yes. The first one is clockwise negative, second one is anti-clockwise positive, third one is anti-clockwise positive, next one is anti-clockwise positive, 120 sine 70, that is correct. 120 sine 70 multiplied by x plus 50 minus 240, x plus 50 minus 240, this is correct. Now 80 into 640 minus x plus 50, 640 minus x plus 50, 640 minus x minus 50, that is correct, plus 42,000 plus 40,000, that is also correct. This is equal to 0. So now let me solve it. Has anyone solved this?
So solving, sir.
Pardon?
So solving, sir. I'm solving the problem.
Solve it and let me know. So minus 200 cos 15 bracket complete into 470 plus 200 sine 15 into bracket alpha x plus 50 plus 120 cos of 70 into 470 plus 120 sine of 70 multiplied by alpha x plus 50 minus 240 bracket complete minus 80 multiplied by into bracket 640 minus alpha x minus 50 plus 42,000 plus 40,000.
So it's giving us 515.5.
No, I got it as now 227.14 itself. How much are you getting?
So I got 515.5.
No, there is some error. This 227.14 is correct, but that makes it mandatory that we must check this calculation once again. Have we made some error in the component writing? So let us check that once again. Just give me a second. It is taking some time, but that is absolutely essential because I want to explain you transmissibility of a force based on this example. So we must have this correct. So 1 minute. 200 cos 15 multiplied by 520 minus now here is the mistake, I guess. So we are taking no, that's correct. 520 minus y, this component is correct. It is clockwise, correct. Now what about this? That is anti-clockwise. 200 sine 15 multiplied by 50, 50, that is correct, minus 120 sine 70, 120 sine 70 minus component, that is correct, that is 240 minus 50, that is 190, that is correct. So plus 120 cos 70 plus 120 cos 70 multiplied by this is also correct, 520 minus y minus 80 into 590 minus 80 into 590, that is also correct. So I don't think there is any error here. So now I'm very sure that we have done all the calculation correct. Ideally, what I would have liked to have is this 227.14 should be exactly equal to this 250. What did we get here? 258.25. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Possibly this discrepancy has come because of the rounding of errors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo all these calculations with higher precision, and then I'm very sure that you will get both these answers as same. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So believe me for now that these two answers are going to be same by both these methods. And then we are going to make a point. What is the point that we are trying to make? जरा यहाँ पे देखो, in this diagram, if I shift this resultant along the line of action of the resultant anywhere, it is going to produce exactly the same effect on all points of the body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This principle is called as transmissibility of a force. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if that principle gets proved here because you get the same answer using two methods for part B. So that means whether you have R provided at I, देखो यहाँ पे, where did we draw that sketch? Whether you have R provided at I or whether you have that same R provided at J, you are going to have exactly same effect on all points of the body. So that means if you transmit the force along the line of action, then it produces same effects on all points of the body. The principle is called as transmissibility of a force. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And therefore forces are called as sliding vectors. Why do we call them sliding vectors? Because you can slide them along their line of action without changing their effect on any point of the body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So at the end of this class, I will do these calculations with higher precision. जो भी corrections मैं करूंगा, I will mark it in a different color and then I will share this board with you. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I hopefully you have understood both the methods. Have you?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay. Now we are going to start with a new term today, and that is rigid body. Before we proceed with the next problems, we will first define what do we mean by a rigid body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is your notion of rigid body? When do you call a body as rigid? Yes, go ahead.
Sir, a rigid body is one that does not change shape or does not deform when sort of force or momentum is applied or given to it.
Yes. So therefore, what you are saying is correct, but we will define it in more precise way. Imagine that this is a body. If this body has to be rigid, then you have to randomly pick any 2 points on the body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Pick randomly point A and point B on the body, and let us say the distance between this point A and B is something. Let us call that distance as L. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
If under the action of any number of and any magnitude of forces, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What is the condition? Under the action of any number of any magnitude of forces, if the relative distance between these 2 points remains unaltered, then we call the body to be rigid. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And these 2 points are randomly chosen points on the body. So that means if I choose any 2 points on a body and distance between them remains unaltered under any number of any magnitude of forces, then we call that body as rigid. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Consequence, the body will not change its size as well as shape during the application of various forces. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
None of the body in this world is absolutely rigid. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. However, if under a given force system, the bodies do exhibit very small amount of deformation, then we call those bodies as rigid bodies. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So, okay. So it is in this context that we are going to look at the bodies in Newtonian mechanics. In this course, as it is an introductory course in mechanics, we are going to consider all bodies to be rigid. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Sir,
having yes,
sir, could you write the definition of of rigid body that you just said, sir?
yeah. So pick any two randomly pick any 2 points on the body, and if the distance between those 2 points remains unaltered under the action of any number of forces of any magnitudes, then we call that body as rigid. And that should happen for any pair of molecules picked up from the body. सब molecules कौन से भी दो pick up करो यही होना चाहिए. Then we call that body as rigid body. Are you with me?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So we have learned two new concepts here. One is transmissibility of a force or force as a sliding vector. Force can be transmitted anywhere along its line of action and still produces the same effect on the body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then along with this transmissibility of a force, we have also discussed transposability of a couple moment. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So couple moment can be transposed anywhere in its plane and it still has same effect on all points of a body. That principle is called as transposability of a couple moment. And a force can be transmitted anywhere along its line of action without changing its effect on all points of the body. This is called as transmissibility of a force. And then we discuss something about rigid body. Now, in this context, we are going to solve next problem, problem number 13. We will solve problem number 13 today and then we will stop. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what has been asked in problem number 13? Can you read the statement for me?
So compute the resultant of the force system.
Yes. So, we have to compute resultant of the forces shown. Can you tell me where is the body? The forces must act on some body. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Where is the body in this problem?
So is it the point, sir?
Yes. So this is precisely called as particle idealization of a body. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
When can you idealize a body as a particle? So there are certain conditions that need to be satisfied in order to consider body as a particle, or in order to disregard the shape and size of body. When you consider body as a particle, you are disregarding its shape and size. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So if we have to do that, there are certain conditions that need to be satisfied when it comes to statics, and there are other set of conditions to be satisfied when it comes to dynamics. So statics में अगर body को particle idealize करना है तो there are different conditions. Dynamics में अगर body को particle idealize करना है then there are different conditions. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
We will deal with those conditions when we discuss about the equilibrium little later, but right now we have to understand that a body has been idealized as a particle here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now let us have a look at what kind of force system it is are lines of actions of all forces lying in one plane?
No, sir. Two planes.
Which two planes?
X plane and Y plane, sir.
No, is x a plane or is x a line?
Line, sir. Sorry.
Xy
Sir,
is
the
one
Y
plane.
plane, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So xy is as shown, and z is coming out of the plane of both towards you. Now tell me, lines of actions of all the forces, do they lie in single plane? Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And in which plane?
So in the Z plane,
No.
in the
How?
Y plane.
XY plane.
Z is not a plane, x is not a plane, y is not a plane, xy is plane, yz
XY
is
plane.
plane, and zx is plane. So can you tell me in which plane do the line
So
of action?
XY plane.
XY plane. Okay. So can I configure or can I categorize this force system as coplanar force system?
Yes, sir.
Because lines of actions of all the forces are lying in a single plane, I am going to call this force system as coplanar force system. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, what can you say more about this force system? What about intersection of line of action of all the forces? Is it in a single point?
So they converge or diverge from a single point, sir.
Yes. So lines of actions of all the forces, they do have a common intersection point. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So what do we call such force system as? Concurrent. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is not only a coplanar force system, it is also a concurrent force system. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Was it true for earlier problems? No. For earlier problems, it was a coplanar force system, but it was non-concurrent force system. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And what did we observe in case of coplanar force system but non-concurrent force system? Resultant at a point is typically a force resultant plus moment resultant. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now we are trying to look at the another kind of force system which is coplanar and concurrent. What kind of resultant will this system have? Can you tell me?
So the resultant won't have a moment, sir. It would just be a
Yes,
force.
because if everything is happening at a point, there is no notion of perpendicular distance from line of action. Therefore, moments of all the forces about that point are going to be zero. And therefore, there is no question of moment resultant here. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So even before solving the problem, we have understood a very key concept about resultant of a coplanar and concurrent force system, that coplanar and concurrent force system has only force resultant, no moment resultant. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Always. Whereas if you look at coplanar and non-concurrent force system, there are only certain points where the resultant is single force resultant. At all other points, you have two components of resultant, one force and another moment. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now how do you find out the resultant of all these forces? So that is very easy. We are going to do that quickly. Rx is going to be equal to summation fx. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And Ry is going to be equal to summation fy. So let us do that. What is summation Fx? What is the x component of this 20 kilonewton force?
So 20 cos 30.
Plus or minus?
So it'll be plus.
Yes. So 20 plus 20 cos 30. What is the x component of this 45?
45 cos 10, sir.
Great. What is the x component of this 30 Newton force? This
So
angle
30,
is 120. So this angle is
60
60. And that component is plus 30 cos 60.
cos 60.
Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, let us do summation Ry. Meanwhile, you can calculate this summation Fx and tell me the value. So summation Fy minus
So
76.63.
Fx
pardon?
will be 76.63.
76.63.
76.63
63 Newton, sir.
Very good. No, it's not Newton, kilonewton.
Kilonewton, yes, sir.
Because all the forces are given in kilonewton. Summation Ry, quickly, minus 20 sine 30. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Plus 45 sine 10. 45 sine 10. Minus 30 sine 60. चलो बताओ कितना आता है
27.5, sir. 27.5 kilonewton.
प्लस और माइनस
Plus, sir.
so 27.5 right
Sir.
so as it is positive therefore it is in positive y direction as x component is positive therefore it is in positive x direction. So in which quadrant does the resultant lie? So let me
first
call Rx. Yes, so 76.63 kilonewton. Ry is 27.5 kilonewton. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And
Sir, it should be minus 28.16 RY.
okay, so now I need to do it. If there are differences in the calculation, minus 20 sine 30 plus 45 sine 10 minus 30 sine 60. Yes, it is minus 28.16.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. My bad.
How did two students manage to get the same incorrect answer? Minus 28.166 kilonewton. So therefore this 27.5 kilonewton के बजाय मुझे वो resultant दिखाना पड़ेगा कौन से quadrant में? Second quadrant. Are you with me?
Second call. Yes, sir.
I don't remember in which sequence the quadrant naming is given. So you call it second, third, fourth, doesn't matter. I will show it here pictorially. So it is 28.16 kilonewton. This is Ry. So R
the
is
fourth
going to lie in this quadrant. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. The fourth quadrant, sir.
Yeah, fourth quadrant. So R is going to be, magnitude of R is going to be equal to square root of 76.63 square plus 28.16 square. Can you tell me what is the answer?
Sir, 81.64, sir.
So R is
81.64.
81.64 kilonewton. And what is the angle that it makes with the x-axis? Tan theta is equal to 28.16 divided by 76.63. Are you with me?
20.17.
20. So this implies theta is equal to 20.17 degree. So this is our answer. What is the resultant? Resultant is magnitude of resultant R bar is 81.64 kilonewton. It is located in fourth quadrant, making an angle of 20.17 degree with x-axis. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as I promised, we have covered two force systems and their resultants. One is concurrent and coplanar. Another is coplanar but non-concurrent. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, problem number 14 is a special case of non-concurrent force system. We will deal with that in the next class. So we are going to stop today. You can put your attendance in the same attendance link. अगर किसी को doubt है तो पूछ सकते हो. Otherwise, I will close the class.